Jimmy, Effinex showed that his Breeders' Cup runner-up finish was no fluke with a big win in the Clark yesterday. Had to be thrilled with that effort.
Yeah, you know, and that was, like you said, it was just didn't want anybody to think it was fluky, and for him to come back and run like that, win in a Grade 1 and then, redeem, just running every bit as good as he did the time before that really was a big thrill.
You've had him for a little while now. What's the biggest difference you've seen in him since when you first got him?
Well, I don't know, just developed the way you want a horse to develop, we trained him pretty hard, and he thrived on it, and he just got to be, he just got to be a better horse like the quality ones do.
For this win, what do you think you do with him for the winter? Like, where would be his next start, or does he get a break now?
No, he's going to get a break. We just kind of not decided what we're going to do. Last year, we just kept him in my barn up here all winter, and he did fine. We just didn't do a whole lot with him till the weather broke a little bit, and he had a couple of good works and then ran super. So, but we might take him to Florida at least for a little while. We don't know yet.
Jimmy, in the Brooklyn, he uncharacteristically bolted. Is that something he ever showed a propensity to do in the morning or any other time?
He did in the morning, a couple of works, especially when I was working him 2 turns. By himself, he'd get out a little bit. But Mike said something interesting. He said, we know he does, which he'll switch to his outside lead in the middle of the turn, which very few horses don't do. And he acts like he's a big, strong horse. He acts like he's going to just take it to left field. And if you overreact, then he's worse. He said, when he did that with me around the first turn and at the Breeders' Cup, he said, I just matter of fact, I goosed him a little bit, just like neck reined him in, and then he was a dreamboat from there on. So he just doesn't want you getting into his mouth and bossing him around.
You're speaking to Mike Smith, who had so much success with your dad through the years. What is it like to have a guy like him of his stature? It must give you a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't know what commitments he had coming up. I didn't know what he had, and I was just so glad he made the trip, and like you said, Mike, he said, I'd do anything for the Jerkens family, so that meant a lot.
Well, the Jerkens family has meant a lot to everybody, particularly here in New York. Congratulations.
Thanks again.